On.
Hello and welcome to the unboxing of this new ARF model that I picked it up just 2 days ago from the wonderful people down at Austars in Sydney. It's a An-2 An-2. It's an ARF and it's manufactured by Maxford in the US. Now when it came it was double boxed. I removed the outer box and split open the top box. No labelling on the box. Luckily somebody thought to put an upwards pointing arrow with texture on the side so we knew which way was up. So let's get on with the unboxing. I'm rather excited to see just what's inside here and the quality of it. Let's move that a bit so that goes down right. Wow, there's a lot of big pieces in here. We'll just start off with some of the smaller bits that are taped in here. Obviously the two horizontal stabs, complete with the elevators attached. I believe their hinge points, they're just in place but they're not glued in place yet. So let's get one of these out just to have a look at the quality of the covering, which looks to be pretty good so far. And trying to get one out without too much damage. We might have to do a bit more in here, that's better. No need to take them all out. There you go, we're out. Okay. Yeah, so the hinges are in place but they're not glued in place yet. It's quite a good looking covering job, no wrinkles at all during transit from the US to finally at my place. Tabs on the inboard end, which I believe just screw onto the side of the fuselage, and there are some mounting points for struts that also hold the stabilizer in place. So that's all very good, very good. So moving further on, there's some smaller bits here. Here's a bag that's full of the undercarriage components. The undercarriage is a sprung, triangulated and articulated unit that bolts to the fuselage and some inner portions of the bottom wings. Also in this packet, I won't open it because I'll only lose pieces. Also in this packet is the tail wheel, which is not quite scale. That's one criticism that I do have of the kit. The tail wheel is on a long leaf spring and looks like the style of tail wheel that would be on an extra or other types of aerobatic aircraft. It's not quite scale, but well, we may be able to change that during the build. Another box of bits and pieces that has the pull wires for the rudder, various timber pieces, timber blocks that will be used throughout the construction. Oh, and also it looks like some connections there for the flying wires. Okay, here's the important bit. Let's get the fuselage out and see what that looks like. All firmly taped in place for transit. Knife. And cut. This is one big fuselage. We have liftoff. Good. Okay, we'll pull all the covering off this. Very nicely built. A nice timber and covering construction. Starting down the tail end, you'll note that there are some threads already in place in order to pull the elevator servo wires leads through. The elevator halves are driven by two individual servos mounted on the horizontal stabilizer. I understand that this canopy section is just held on with magnets, yes. So when you take that off, there's ample room there to get to anything you want to install. If you want to go electric, there's certainly plenty of room to get to the batteries and to move them around to achieve proper balance. All seems very nicely made. As I said, it looks like a ply sides with some then vinyl or iron-on covering then for the final finish. Okay, we'll just put this. I'll put this aside over here for now. Luckily I did the washing up earlier so that there's room on the bench. What are we missing? We're missing things like wings, and we're missing things like a cowl, and I would bet money that inside this box there is a cowl. And I was right. Lots of tape holding everything in place, which is good for transit. Cowl looks to be a very nice fiberglass moulding. Painted, and if I hold it next to the blue stripes on the fuselage, it's quite a good colour match. Also packed inside here is a dummy radial engine, which is made from laser cut ply and painted. A bit of weathering on that would bring that up nicely, and we also have some wheels supplied, which are quite large. Well, the plane itself is quite large. I think I neglected to say earlier that it's close to 2.6 metres in span, which is pretty big for a biplane, a single engine biplane. And when you think that it's roughly 1/7 scale, you can get some idea of the size of the full-size aircraft. Nice and light wheels. Take this away again. Okay, two boxes left to open, which undoubtedly will contain the upper and lower wings. And also the rudder. So we have a number of pieces in here. First of all, we have all of these tubes, which will be used for mounting both the wings and I also believe the horizontal stabilizer. Rudder. Little fairings that go on the undercarriage rudder, once again with hinges in place, not glued in, but located there for safekeeping so that they don't get lost in amongst everything else. Pack here that contains what looks to be the interplane struts for the wings. Lots and lots of tape being used. So there should be a total of 4 struts of various shapes in here, 2 of them being the interplane struts between the top and bottom wings, and 2 of them the struts that brace each side of the horizontal stab. I'll just get one of these out for now just to have a look at the finish. I wasn't sure whether they were painted or film covered, but they look to be painted, and it's a very, very nice job as well. Complete with the metal fittings on either side. That will be one for one side of the horizontal stab. We'll get another one out. Have a look at the wing. So this will be one of the interplane struts for either the that will be the starboard wing. I can tell from the shape of the bottom there it fits on top of the lower wing. Flat surface for the underside of the top wing. These 2 components here are part of the bottom wing assembly. The little stub pieces that butt against the side of the fuselage, and has a mounting point there for the undercarriage. So the undercarriage is mounted there and triangulated, and also mounted on places on in the middle of the bottom of the fuselage. And this will be a pair of bottom wings. How can I tell they're bottom wings? Because the kit, unlike the full-size aircraft, only has ailerons and flaps on the upper wing. This is obviously a bottom wing. Very difficult to get out in a hurry, but we will do our best to get at least one out. There we go. Being very careful not to cut through the covering with the knife. Again, the covering job looks excellent. A1. Very nice. So the two bottom wings then. And the last box should have the 2 top wings and also the centre section. We've got the centre section up first. So this is the centre section that bolts down to the top of the fuselage, and then the 2 top wings, starboard and port, slide onto those rods that we looked at earlier, and I believe are then captured in place by a screw that goes through a tongue that is also glued onto that centre section. I knew there was another piece to go beside the wings. We need a rudder. we have a rudder, again very nicely covered, and you can see where the horizontal stab slides onto the side of the rudder and is held in place by these two screws that are left in situ there for transport so they don't get lost. It's really a good idea to have those in there so that you know where they are and where they go. And another cover which baffles me. I'm not sure where that goes at this point in time. And finally, if I can find my knife, we can can't find the knife, I'll have to care. Finally, we have a pair of upper wings. Get one out. The upper wings, as I mentioned, contain the ailerons and flaps. Nice large ailerons, flaps, nice area, all very nicely put together. Again, with the threads installed for pulling pulling servo leads through. We have the connections there for the interplane struts and so on. So that's about it for this this unboxing, and I'm going to enjoy this build, and I can't wait to put it together. Not sure what I'm going to power it with yet, but I may keep you posted. Thanks for watching.